If you really knew Bobby Kelly, you know his favorite line when you ask him how he was better than I deserve. I'm not really sure that we knew what that meant. But you know what? It meant everything that Bobby Kelly stood for. It meant for us to stop complaining, to stop grumbling, and to stop doubting. We deserved hell, but by the grace of God, we had great gifts. And we all have gifts to give. Gifts that Bobby used to brighten lives, improve self-concepts, and build careers for better lives. Bobby Kelly and I met 21 years ago. We've been friends for 21 years, but it seems like we've been friends forever. We met at Leadership Grand Strand. I was the instructor and he was a student. What a wonderful word, leadership. His mantra. The only crosswords we ever had were, Marcia, stop talking so I can have my turn. It was always hard for us to be quiet and listen to each other, even though he was a very good listener. Without his leadership as a founding board member for Erie County Early College High School, we would have never achieved that blue ribbon status, which is the best of the best. And as a winner of the first Erie Georgetown Dancing with the Stars, Erie County Dancing with the Stars, Bobby rumbled his way to winning. And he said under his breath as he won, Bobby Kelly and Marcia Griffin always come to win. Winning was his style, and because of that, better than I deserve attitude, this county, much of the state of South Carolina, and many of you sitting here today breathe a sigh of relief and are living your best life. Please take away Bobby's gift of grace and know that grace will take you home.
Hello, friends and family. I'm Karen Chanel, a State Farm agent here in Alexander City, Alabama on beautiful Lake Martin. I first met Bobby Kelly 35 years ago, October of 1986. He was a brand new agent with State Farm and I was his first employee. We had an interview over the phone. I had never met Bobby and he hired me sight unseen. I was 7 months pregnant with my third child. We worked together for many, many years. I became a State Farm agent in August of 1989, and Bobby and I and Julie and Trey and Courtney, we traveled on many, many trips together. And I just want to say thank you, Bobby, for taking a chance on me and for giving me an opportunity and being such a blessing in my life. You were instrumental in many phases of my career, and I can't thank you enough for taking that risk and taking a chance and believing in me and all those others that you took a chance on and believed in and the opportunities that you afforded them. I know that you set the example to how to be a blessing to others. You were such a blessing to me, and Lord, I just pray that you are happy and at peace. And I know that it's peaceful here on Lake Martin, but it's not near as peaceful as where you are. And until we meet again, I love you and thank you, and God's blessings to you and your family.
God used Bobby Kelly to change my life. In 1990, Bobby hired me to become an agent with State Farm in North Myrtle Beach. In 1995, Bobby hired me again to become an agency field consultant and work with him in Florence. And in 1998, Bobby hired me for the third time to return to personal production, also in Florence. Bobby Kelly loved people. Bobby Kelly loved life. And Bobby took to heart the biblical principle to love your neighbor as yourself. And Bobby believed in sharing the good things that God had given him with others. If you were his friend, and especially if you worked with him, Bobby Kelly was your biggest cheerleader. He believed in you. He encouraged you. He kept you from getting down. I've worshiped with Bobby Kelly. I've worked with Bobby Kelly. My wife Kim and I have traveled the world with Bobby and Julie Kelly, and we've laughed more times than I can remember. You see, Bobby changes the lives of people that he meets. The Bible tells us to whom much has been given, much is expected. And that is so undoubtedly true about Bobby. He was a true giver. I've loved him as a friend. I've loved him as a mentor. I've loved him as a brother. But most of all, I've loved him because he loved me, and I'm always eternally grateful.
The Kelly family and the Wall family departed Aiken County way back in the late 80s, seeking our fame and fortune. Bobby became a regional manager, and I was a TV guy at WBTW. And we really didn't know each other that well then, but we became fast friends because we were in this strange place called Florence County with our children. It was great. It's hard not to warm up to Bobby Kelly. He had such a great sense of humor. He really should have been Santa Claus, because when he laughed from the bottom of his feet. That's one thing I loved about him. And the other thing I loved about him was, deep down, he was an entertainer. When he had a chance to sing at church, he'd sling that cord out there out front like, yeah, take notice. Bobby Kelly is here to sing. And he can sing. And when he sang a duet with Julie, boy, they were really good. She made him even better. It was amazing. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Bobby was such a great friend to everyone, and he was always such a joy to be around. And he was a great businessman, a devoted dad, loved his family and his faith. And, and what stood out to me also, he could find humor in most anything. The world has lost something with Bobby Kelly gone. The light of his personality just burned a little brighter than the rest of us, don't you think? It just burned a little brighter. How do you replace that? We're going to miss you, and there are a lot of people going to miss Bobby Kelly. A lot of people.
I don't know how many of you have been shooting videos lately, but this is the hardest one I've had to make, ever. Bobby Doc, to know him was to love him. I asked Wyman if I could make a video that epitomizes Bobby and the way that many of us knew him. In the hot tub with a glass of scotch. He told me no. But all jesting aside, Bobby Doc was more than a friend to me. He was family. His son Trey Kelly married Wyman and I in Bobby's front yard. And then Bobby threw an extravagant party for us in the backyard, where Wyman and I ended up in the hot tub and the pool. Bobby Doc will always be remembered. I love you. And we'll miss you every day.
So many great memories and times with Bobby. It's hard to narrow them down. Park City with Lee, Trey, and Bobby was great. Jamaica with Lee and Bobby, that was a whole thing. Hanging out on the bus with Rascal Flatts, the pool parties at Bobby's and Sam's, the events we went to, all great times. One story did come to mind, and it's kind of funny now, but we were at the fights, and Bobby always supported everyone, so he had a table, maybe two. I happened to meet the president of the Red Devils in the bathroom, and I had seen him come in, and at the time he was only with a couple other guys, so I told him he should come and join us at the table. Well, we walked over to the bleachers, and he gave a whistle and waved his hand, and about 10 guys in vests stood up, so I was thinking, oh boy. But I wasn't going to renege at that time, so they all came to the table, and I'm grabbing chairs from everywhere, and Bobby's giving me a certain Bobby Kelly look that hopefully not too many people here got. I got, I'm sure, more than a few of them over the years, but it was that look of, have you lost your mind? And I'd like to remove your head from your shoulders now. And I did catch an ear bending too, but it all worked out, and Bobby and Bob, the president, actually became friends. Bob actually spoke very highly of him just a few days ago, and Bobby ended up getting his first and only tattoo from Bob. So apparently it all worked out, but so many great times, so many great memories. Love you, Bobby. Miss you a lot till I see you again.
First and foremost, I am so very grateful to have known Bobby Kelly. Bobby was more than a friend. He always made me feel like I was a family. He knew from day one that my family lived far away, but he made sure that I felt like family. He was my hero and my mentor. I'm a better man because of him. I went through some difficult times in my life, and he helped me to stay grounded and focused. He shared so many stories, lessons, blessings, and much more with me. He helped me to have strong faith and hope in life. He was such a great listener, and I was to him too. He helped me to find that career path that I was looking for. When he called me, he always started by saying, "Have you counted your blessings today, Ollie?" He was my number one supporter. He loved repeating my accent. It was irritating to me, but I'm going to miss that a lot. I had a heart problem about 2 years ago caused by excess supplements, and afterwards, when I wanted to take any supplements, Bobby would tell me, if I see any of that stuff, I will throw it straight in the trash. He was always looking after me. I know wherever I go in life, I will carry his legacy with me. I miss him so much already. Bobby Kelly was the best gift I could have asked for in my life. Now I have a guardian angel watching over me.
I met Bobby Kelly August 2018. I had moved here to Myrtle Beach after managing a State Farm office for 20 years on Long Island. I had walked into Bobby's MOA office and sat with Dan to write my condominium policy. Dan and I got to talking, and Dan had asked if I would consider continuing to work with State Farm and that Bobby was hiring. And I had said yes. And 2 days later, I got a phone call from Bobby Kelly. And the start of my interview, he had said, "How are you?" And I gave him my typical answer, "I'm great." And I reciprocated and said, "How are you?" And he said to me, "Better than I deserve." I said, "Okay." We continued the interview, and then Bobby had this way of folding his hands together and leaning into his desk and nodding silently. And I'm watching him, and he said to me, "I've been praying for you. I didn't even know you, but I've been praying for God to send me an angel to help me, and you're my angel." Well, Bobby Kelly, you are now my angel. You have shown me kindness, you have shown me love, and you have shared with me humility. And until we hug again, my angel, my friend, I will clasp my hands together and I will lean forward and nod silently and know that I too am truly better than I deserve. I love you, my friend.
Whenever I saw Bobby Kelly, he always greeted me with a big hug and an even bigger smile. Bobby had a way of making people feel accepted, included, and at ease. The best example of that and one of my favorite memories of Bobby includes our daughter, Sarah. Now, Sarah is 19 years old now and a lovely person who smiles often. But her first few months of life were, how shall we say, teary. And it did not matter how much fun was going on around her, or how sweet the person was who was holding her. Sarah just was not having it. But how about Sarah with that Uncle Bobby? Please know that the look on his face is pure smugness, pure satisfaction that everybody in the room that day held this child and she cried like a banshee. But when she got into her Uncle Bobby's arms, she was just so calm, so happy, fell asleep. She recognized that she was in the arms of a warm, welcoming man who also was pretty daggum tall, which she loved. And just to let you know that this wasn't a fluke, this is her with her Uncle Bobby on a different day. And there you see that beautiful smile he always flashed for. I don't think he just flashed it for her, but for everybody. And we will miss that smile dearly. We love you, Bobby Kelly.
In 2009, Mark and I moved to Myrtle Beach from North Carolina. We had met a few people and we were invited to a happy hour at the Anchor Cafe one very hot summer afternoon. So while we were there having a few drinks with the few people that we knew, we see this guy walking down wearing a three-piece suit and big sunglasses. And he came and sat at the table next to us, and that's when we learned who Bobby Kelly was. So we all enjoyed our happy hour, and Bobby wound up inviting everybody back to his house to continue with the festivities. And we did decide that we would go. So it was that day that we learned what a gracious host and friend that Bobby Kelly was. We continued our friendship from that day on, and were often having dinner together, whether at our house or his house. But we were always fond of the memories of Bobby Kelly wearing his three-piece suit in the summertime. We're gonna miss him. He was our best friend. We love him. And we will see him again soon. Love you, Bobby. Bert and Mark.
So Bobby had a standing invitation to dinner at our house, and he usually took us up on it 2 to 3 times a week. And each time we would try to come up with something different. Sometimes it was something very simple. Sometimes it was more elaborate. It all depended on how much time we had and what we were doing. But there's one particular chicken dish, it seemed that I just got stuck on. And every time Bobby came for dinner, I made the same chicken dish. I think it was 6 times in a row. And finally, one evening I said to him, "So how was it?" And he said, yet again, it was delicious. And that's when I realized I'd been making him the same chicken dish every time he came for the last 2 months. So from that point on, I never made that chicken dish again. And when I would call him and ask him if he'd like to come for dinner, or text him as most people did, he would pause and he would ask, "What's for dinner?" And we both knew he meant, "Don't serve me that chicken dish again." We miss you, Bobby. You'll always have a place at our dinner table. Until we meet again.
Sometimes words cannot describe certain things. And in this case, words cannot describe how much I love you. Words cannot describe how much I miss you. Words cannot describe how much you not only meant to me, but to everyone around you. You were a constant light. You had constant positive attitude, constant kindness to everyone. And we'll never forget it. Because generosity is something that we don't ever forget, and you're someone who oozes generosity. Thank you for all of the lunches. Thank you for all of the trips. Thank you for all of the shopping hauls. Thank you for literally everything. And most importantly out of all of those, thank you for the good moments, for the good memories. Every laugh, every tear, every single thing that I did with you, I cherish. And I've truly taken the past 2 weeks to take some time and remember how amazing you were. Grieving is something that is never easy, and my heart aches because of how much I miss you. But it sure does make it easier knowing that you're in heaven, claiming that you're doing better than you deserve. I love you, Papa. Can't wait to see you again.
My dearest BK, I felt it was most appropriate to be where we spent the most time together. Where do I begin? We certainly did not have the typical work relationship. Not really sure exactly what job title fits best, but I will absolutely miss being 3 steps down the hall from just leaving your office and you hollering, "Mel." I'll miss those times you swore I broke the printer for job security, and the smirky smile you would give for the unique gifts we created for you, and everything in between. Thank you doesn't seem nearly enough, but thank you. Thank you for your patience, your wisdom, for inspiring us all to be better humans with your endless positivity. May you look down from above and truly be proud of all the work you've done, the person you were, and the absolute difference you made in this world. Sometimes if you're lucky enough, and boy was I truly lucky, God brings someone special into your life who makes you laugh a little louder, smile a little brighter, and truly live a better life. That is you, BK. You inspired me, challenged me, and maybe annoyed me a time or two, but who's counting? But more importantly, you shared your enormous heart. You, Bobby Kelly, have made me a better person. And for that, I will forever be humbled and thankful. It is with the highest honor and privilege that I not only get to call you my boss, but more importantly, my dear friend. This quote seems most appropriate for you. Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. You, my boss and friend, deserve to know the love that is felt from all of us because of you. I will promise to continue to carry your legacy of kindness always. Keep watching over us. We love you so very much, BK.
I am forever grateful for having BK in my life. He was an amazing boss, mentor, role model, even like a godfather to me. He even made my dreams come true by introducing me to State Farm. He gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. And I can hear him right now saying, "Baby girl, get up, go to work, and sell some life insurance." Bobby, you will truly be missed. I will forever honor your name and hold on your legacy. We love you.
So we were asked to share some memories that we have of our Uncle Bobby. I'm going to share the parts of him that were profound to me, that whether he knew it or not, whether he knew my eyes were on him, how he shaped my life. And that would absolutely be as a performer. One of the first memories I have is him being on a stage and singing. And I had to be super, super young and thinking, wow, that is what a celebrity is. That is what I want to do. And in my mind, my Uncle Bobby was always a rock star. He was always somewhat of a celebrity. With that being said, he was very down to earth. He was very beautiful. He's very understanding. He's very open. And I think he allowed his life to unfold as it was supposed to unfold. I want to pay tribute to my Aunt Julie and just say that I love you. I love the relationship and the example that you and Uncle Bobby have laid for us through all the ups and downs. You've remained friends, you've remained special, and you've remained soulmates. And there is just a beauty to that I can't explain. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Kelly name. Remembering and knowing at a young age how special that name was, especially I have a vivid memory of Courtney when she was born and thinking, wow, she's gonna have the Kelly name. And, then thinking if I had the Kelly name, I would be Kelly Kelly. That would be weird, but I still wanted to be Kelly Kelly. So, I just want to say that we are a special family, and we're a unique family, and we're a beautiful family. And that I promise to pass that love down to my children as much as I can, and having, openness towards them and openness towards them through life's journey. Uncle Bobby, we are going to definitely miss you, but more than that, we celebrate you for being who you are.
Bobby's always had a smile and warmth about him that said, "Hey friend, I love you." My life has been truly blessed because of my friendship with Bobby Kelly. And Bobby, my dear friend, I need you to take that spotlight on that heavenly stage and sing and dance because you deserve it. You will truly be missed, my friend.
I met the Kellys in 1983. Bobby and I met at a Miss Aiken County orientation. I'm not sure how it happened, but almost overnight, the Kelly family, my parents and I became family. Bobby never met a stranger, and we had so many things in common. Pageants, singing, travel, love of family, and of course, South Carolina football. He and Julie opened their home to me on so many occasions when I would pass through from Beaufort to Atlanta or Columbia to Atlanta. And Bobby was one of the most gregarious and fun people that I've ever known. He and Julie were a power couple. They had a gorgeous home, were the perfect hosts, and they both loved to go and do as we did. From the time we met them, there was no significant event that they were not there for. Bobby loved glamour, and they owned a store called All That Glitters. He would call any time they got new products in that he thought we would like. He was himself a sharp dresser, and of course made sure his family was as well. He wanted them to have the best of everything, including experiences. He adored his family. He loved and admired his parents so much that he followed in his father's footsteps with the insurance and State Farm. He was a loyal friend and was so generous to all, whether that be causes, complete strangers, or friends. We traveled to Gator Bowls, pageants throughout South Carolina and Georgia, weddings of his sister Julie and my own wedding, which he sang for, tailgated at USC, and any other excuse to get together and have fun. Bobby loved to laugh and have a good time. We loved he and Julie, Courtney, and Trey like they are our family. When I gave up my title of Miss Beaufort County in 1988, of course, they were there. Bobby and I sang, "I've Had the Time of My Life." I would like to think that Bobby is looking down today, singing that song and reflecting on the life he lived well. I don't think he wasted a moment. I know that he was so proud of Julie, his children and grandchildren, and I am so grateful that he was my friend. In reflecting on Bobby Kelly and everything he's meant to me and others, there was one particular song that came to my mind. It was a song by Rascal Flatts entitled "How They Remember You." The lyrics go as such. You're going to leave a legacy no matter what you do. It ain't a question if they will, it's how they remember you. Did you stand or did you fall? Build a bridge or build a wall? Hide your love or give it all? What did you do? Did you make them laugh or make them cry? Did you quit or did you try? Live your dreams or let them die? What did you choose? When it all comes down, it ain't if, it's how they remember you. When you're down to your last dollar, will you give or will you take? When the stiff one plays the hardest, will you bend or will you break? You're going to leave a legacy no matter what you do. It ain't a question as if they will, it's how they'll remember you. I can answer how I lovingly remember Bobby Kelly and speak for many of us. Bobby stood tall and for all that was right and good, built bridges, not walls, and connected us all. He loved people, and his greatest joy was making others happy. He made us laugh, he made us cry, sometimes out of laughter, and today out of sorrow. He was a giver with a heart of gold, and all who knew benefited from his generosity, personally and in the community. He lived his dreams, enjoyed life, and gave it all. For that, we all are eternally blessed. In the immortal words of Maya Angelou, I've learned that people will forget what you've said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Thanks to Bobby Kelly for always making everyone he knew feel valued and special. You are a bright spot in our lives. What a wonderful legacy and inspiration for us all. Now you're singing with the angels and dancing in the stars as your work on earth is done.
But I have no doubt you're inside those pearly gates and stirring up some fun. You will be missed, Bobby Kelly. I love you. Keep the happy hour open until we see you again. God bless.
Hello. I'd like to share a story about me and Bobby that used to make us chuckle a lot. I met Bobby 25 years ago, and he hired me to do his wallpaper. And so everything was going well until he handed me a border at the end and wanted me to hang the border. And I was like, Bobby, I can't do that. I work for designers. I'm not going to start putting this, it's just not cool. Well, he walked out of the room. A few minutes later, Julie and I had talked about it, and we decided it would be best if it wasn't up. So he came in, and she told him what we thought. And he looked at Julie and says, did we hire a designer or a damn wallpaper hanger? And stormed out. Ooh, I was so mad. I'm like, who does he think he is? So the beginning wasn't very good for Bobby and I. However, through the years, he was coming to Lombardo's 3 times a week, and we became very close. And we used to tell that story, and I said, if you had told me 25 years ago that Bobby and I would be best of friends, I would have told you, you're crazy. But it happened that way. And about a year and a half ago, he bought me a beautiful tie, brackish, from Charleston. I don't know if you can see it. It's a peacock feather tie, and I was like, wow, this is nice, this is beautiful, but why? He said, I bought you that tie because I thought about you when I walked by it. He said, it reminded me of a peacock, and you're always all bowed up and, peacock, which I didn't know, but I guess Bobby, he notices these things. So I just want to say that he was the kindest, loving man, and I will miss him, and I love you, and rest in peace, Bobby.
Hi, I'm Penny B. That's what Bobby Kelly always called me. Hey, Penny B. Bobby was such a good friend, great businessman, loved his family, and he enjoyed life. He enjoyed having a good time and entertaining people. He was such a character. And we attended a lot of things together. We had Halloween parties, and Bobby would dress up, and we'd walk in the door at the same time. I had no idea who he was. He was Buck. And he was dressed up in overalls and a flannel shirt, the big thick eyeglasses, his hair all spiked up, and he had on those fake teeth. And he talked, and finally an hour into the party, he comes up and he says, hey, you don't know who I am, do you? I said, no, who are you? And it was Bobby. Bobby was always in character. But I guess the first time I met him was he had a wine tasting party that Marcia put on at his house on 37th. And I got to meet Bobby and see his beautiful home. And Sarah had gone also, and her friend that was with her had grabbed her keys. We're all standing in the kitchen kind of closing up the party, and all of a sudden the keychain went off with the mace. So we all had to do a big exit, and I ran out the door. Bobby, nice to meet you, and I hope I get to be at your house again sometime soon. But he was always happy to be around a lot of people. But I think one time we used to always meet out front at Collector's Cafe during his art shows, Tommy's art shows. And we went in one night, and there was 2 of our friends standing. It was like a reception area, I guess. And our 2 friends, Sarah, me, then Bobby. And somebody's introducing themselves, and they come to Sarah. She said, hi, I'm Sarah Bowling. I said, hi, I'm Penny Bowling. And what did Bobby do? Bobby said, hi, I'm Bobby Bowling. And stuck with us. We had the biggest laugh over that for years. But Bobby's the kind of friend that when you see, wherever you are, you connect with the eyes, you see the smile, you get the bear hug, whether it be in his office, at a party, at a restaurant, at a wedding, wherever, but you smile and your heart smiles. And my heart smiles with Bobby Kelly. I miss you, Bobby.
Okay.
Bobby Kelly was our friend. I shall never forget when Bobby and Julie and their precious children came to our church in Florence. It was as if they had always been there. They jumped right in, using their gifts and talents to honor God. They both sang in the choir. They were very involved in our Sunday school class and even our couples Bible study. They raised both of their children to love God. It was no surprise when Trey and Courtney both ended up in ministry. They were involved in the life and ministry of the church as soon as they were old enough to attend church. I remember Bobby saying he didn't know what in the world he ever did to raise both of his children to honor God in ministry. We all knew and had had watched both Trey and Courtney grow up to serve God through the examples that Bobby and Julie had set for them. Bobby and Julie have always been generous and good to their family, their friends, and whoever had a need. Their home was a place where we spent a lot of our time since we had both of our children years after the Kellys came to Florence. They jumped right in and helped us raise our boys. Bobby and Julie were always doing something to help others, whether it's giving or sharing or blessing people. We spent a lot of time eating with Bobby and Julie. Some of my favorite recipes that I cooked today came from Julie and Lou Kelly. Bobby loved to laugh at me as I ordered food at a restaurant, since I obviously was the only person he knew that was very picky. We all laughed and shared a lot of fun, amazing, and even many life-changing experiences together. I shall never forget Bobby singing at my mother's funeral and what that meant to all of us. Now, Bobby can hear her say thank you for his singing at the funeral. I could talk for hours about what Bobby and Julie have meant to us. We enjoyed getting together with them after they moved to the beach, going out on the boat, or just hanging out. So many stories of times Bobby made us laugh, but most of which I shall not mention in this video. We have been through many, many good times as well as many sad times. This is one of those sad times when we say goodbye to our friend. We loved you, Bobby, and we will watch out for Julie and take care of her until we all meet again. To God be the glory, great things he has done.
Memories of Bobby. There are so many, some that probably should not be repeated here, that are really funny. Some scary ones, especially when Bobby was driving in Nashville. But the memory that comes to my mind is a really sweet one. When Carly, our daughter, was about 7 months old, I had a Christmas luncheon to attend, and Julie kept Carly for me to go to the luncheon. When I came back to pick Carly up, Bobby had come home for lunch. He was sitting in his recliner with Carly lying on his chest, sound asleep, and I'm not sure who looked more peaceful, Carly or Bobby. Bobby looked at me and said, "Debbie, this baby has just sucked every bit of stress right out of my body." It took Stephen and I many years to get that sweet baby girl, so to know that our friends loved and cared for her almost as much as we did was very special. So Bobby, thank you for loving my child. You were a very special friend, and you will be and are missed.
Good morning. My name is Jamison Temples, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to say a few words about my dear friend, Bobby Kelly. I am proud to have called Bobby a friend for almost 20 years, and he's been a part of my family for probably closer to 30. He worked day in and day out in leadership with my mother-in-law, Sally Edwards, and I just think he's the kind of guy that we all should aspire to be. I've been so proud and honored to be a part of his life professionally and personally, and the times that I've gotten to be with him in meetings, on trips all around the world. Bobby always was larger than life, and just brought so very much to everyone that was around him. Just such a great man, a great leader, a great father. Brought so many people into the State Farm opportunity. So many of you that'll see this will be a part of that. But I guess a couple of things I'll just say, and then I will stop, is two stories. When I first started in leadership and Bobby was a part of my team, I held a call with my team, and I was pretty unsure of myself, I guess, at the time. And generally, I'm pretty overly confident, or at least confident enough. And I called him afterwards and I said, "Hey man," I said, "how was it?" He said, "You did great, buddy." Just kind of in his Bobby Kelly way. He said, "But quit apologizing all the time." And I can still hear him saying that. And it was a real lesson for me. And I guess the last thing I would say is that Bobby, like I said a minute ago, was been very much a part of our family, and even with my wife and mother-in-law before. And he liked to, with that little Bobby Kelly twinkle in his eye, make it very clear to me and anybody else that was around that he knew my wife before I did. So I love you. I'm so proud to be a part of your life. And thank you for giving me a chance to do this. Bye.
Okay, so what Bobby meant to me. He was the best godfather and confidant that any girl growing up could have asked for, whether it be silly boy advice or professional advice or college advice. He would probably hate that I'm wearing this while I'm filming this, but anyways, he just always dropped what he was doing and he was there for me. He was that voice of reason that I needed during tough decisions, and probably was the person I went to when I needed advice and I didn't want to hear what my mom had to say about it. Sorry, Mom. But anyways, so probably my favorite story that I have, I've probably told it 100 times since, things have happened, but basically when I was in high school and I went prom dress shopping, I couldn't decide between two dresses. And I think him and Miss Marcia and my mom were with me, and my mom bought me one, and then Bobby was sweet enough to spoil me and buy me the second one so that I didn't have to decide. So needless to say, when it came to anything with clothes or fashion or how men should treat their women, he definitely set my expectations higher than they probably should be. So he was just the best godfather.
Having known Bobby all his life, in fact, having known his parents all my life, I've known him since before he was born. He's always been a good person. He loved the Lord and served him loyally in the ministry of music. Bobby was a member of the same churches I've always attended. He was raised in our church. I was his teacher in Sunday school, he was a member of the youth group, which I was the director of. And later, he directed me as a member of the choir. Being a fun, loving, happy young man, he was fun to be around. Bobby was the son of loving parents and a brother of wonderful sisters, 3 of them in fact. To know him was to love him. We'll miss you, friend. God bless your family and friends. And my love to Julie, Trey, and Courtney and their families.
Hello, my name is Melanie Leonard, and I have known Bobby Kelly for about 40 years. Some of my oldest memories go back to my teens when Bobby was in his 20s, and I can see him sitting at our kitchen table with my parents, planning the next full production of the next Miss Aiken County pageant, part of the Miss America program. They all, along with Julie, shared a love for developing these girls, along with the glitz, the glamour, the production, the talent, and for their great friendship. What I didn't realize back then was not only Bobby kind of like a fun uncle that had come into my life, but I came to learn that we shared a passion for the performing arts. I've had the privilege of watching Bobby on a stage in many different capacities, in many different towns and cities over many years. He made us all want to be a better performer. Skip forward to the late 90s, and mine and Bobby's paths crossed again when I called and asked him if State Farm was hiring. Long story short, I was hired as a claim rep in Greenville, and 1 year later I called and begged him to get me over to agency management. I was fortunate that he had a position opening up, and I was thrilled to get to work for Bobby in Florence. At this point, I felt as though I got to know Bobby as an adult, a friend, a mentor. I enjoyed many great meals and conversations with he and Julie. We planned trips for agents together, and the list goes on. I honestly believe that Bobby paved the way for the life that I am now blessed with. Like I tell my family, we wouldn't be a family living in beautiful Murrells Inlet if Bobby Kelly had not hired me and moved me to Florence. I will miss Bobby's zeal for life, the many great conversations about restaurants, musicians, Broadway plays, travel, family, State Farm, friends, etc., etc.
He is one of the more dynamic people I have had the pleasure of knowing, and we will all miss him. Love you, Bobby.
I was told to tell a funny story about Bobby and all the things that we've done, but every story ended up being funny. From us watching wrestling on his couch, to rehabbing houses, to staying at the condo at Myrtle Beach, and going through all the things that we did together. For Bobby, I never wanted to be an agent in South Carolina, but because he did so much for me, I went through the entire process. And my family was here in Jacksonville. This is where I wanted to be. But I put that all aside because he meant so much to me. Bobby, we love you. We had the greatest team that we possibly could ever have. And I want you to know how much we're going to miss you. Courtney, Trey, and Julie, I love you. I'm sorry for what's happened. Pray for peace and happiness and understanding. Everything I have, I can thank Bobby Kelly for that. And as I hear all the stories and talk to other people, that seems to be the case with a lot of us. I love you guys, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
Bobby Kelly. I can't think of a better person to have as a friend than Bobby Kelly. I've known Bobby first in about 1983 as a neighbor. Later, as a boss, as he hired me 3 different times, as a mentor, and as a great friend. When Bobby was your friend, you would not have a better cheerleader or someone pulling for you and on your side than he. Richard Skipper and I were talking, and he said it's funny how God used Bobby Kelly to put people where he wanted them. I thought about that and realized since 1993, when I graduated, every piece of clothes I had on my back, every piece of food I put in my mouth, every car I've driven, and every house I've lived in was because of State Farm, and that was possible because of the opportunity that Bobby Kelly gave me. If it weren't for Bobby Kelly, I probably would not live where I live today and would not have met my wife. I know many of the people watching this and in the room have been touched by Bobby in very, very similar ways. He was always simply laughing, smiling, and willing to help everyone and willing to help anyone in need. I know you are now smiling, laughing, and being given to. No more worry and no more hurt. Out of all of the things Bobby Kelly was to me, a great neighbor, a great mentor, and a great friend, I will miss my friend most of all. Bobby, I love you. I'll miss you. And I know I'll see you again. Thank you for everything you've done.